Once upon a time, there were two brothers, David and Daniel, raised by loving parents. As the only children in the family, they grew up with all they needed, with their parents always working to provide for them. However, as they got older, David and Daniel began to notice something troubling within their home. Their father, a kind man in many respects, had a destructive habit. He was a heavy drunkard, and when he drank, he would lose control and often turned violent, physically abusing their mother. Every time he sobered up and realized what he had done, he would feel remorseful. He would take her to the hospital for treatment, apologizing profusely. Yet, the cycle continued, with the violence flaring up at least once every month. This behavior left the young boys confused and angry. By the time David and Daniel were 15 years old, they finally worked up the courage to ask their mother about it. One evening, they sat with her in the living room. David, looking concerned, asked, "Mommy, why does dad keep hurting you? And if he regrets it so much, why does he keep doing it?" Their mother gave a sad smile and replied, "I love your father very much. I choose this life. And sometimes love is complicated." "But mom," Daniel interrupted, "if dad loves you, shouldn't he be taking care of you, not hurting you? People in town talk about us. They say our father is a drunk who mistreats you. It makes us feel ashamed." Their mother simply sighed and said, "Love can make us endure a lot, my son, maybe more than we should." This answer didn't satisfy the boys. So later that week, they decided to confront their father directly. They asked if he could speak with them privately, and they agreed to talk in the evening. When the time came, the boy sat across from him. "Dad, we need to ask you some questions," David began, his voice steady. "Do you love mom, Dad?" Their father laughed and replied, "Of course, I love your mother. She's my wife, the mother of my sons." Daniel looked at him in the eye and asked, "Then why do you keep hurting her?" Their father's face darkened slightly. "I am the man of this house," he said firmly. "If I don't keep her in line, she might forget her place." The boys were stunned. "Dad, that is not love. That is just wickedness." David replied, rising to his feet, "I could never treat my wife the way you treat mom." With that, the two boys left him angry and disappointed. Their father just shrugged and soon went back to the street to drink. From that day forward, each of the boys decided to live their life differently. David determined not to follow his father's path, threw himself into studies, dreaming of a better future. Years later, he graduated with honor as a lawyer and went into work in the judiciary system. He was committed to his fairness, justice, and respect, everything his father had failed to show. Meanwhile, Daniel, influenced by his father's word and action, fell into the same patterns. He began drinking and roaming the streets, often causing troubles in the community. People would come to David's office complaining about his brother. "Barrister David," they had said, "your brother is making a mess of our neighborhood. Can't you do something?" David would shake his head and respond, "That is his choice. He chose his own way." Years later, David's dedication and work ethic were recognized by the governor of the state, who decided to honor him with a community service award. On the day of the award ceremony, the hall was packed with people from the community. At the edge of the crowd was Daniel, visibly drunk, watching his brother with a bitter expression. Someone pointed Daniel to the governor, saying, "Your Excellency, that is Barrister David's brother. He is notorious for drinking and causing troubles. He's even here, drunk right now." The governor ordered his aide to bring Daniel forward. As he stood beside David, the governor asked, Daniel, why have you chosen this path? Why do you drink and mistreat your own family? Daniel laughed bitterly and said, my father taught me that this is a man's way. I grew up watching him do the same thing to my mother. If it was good enough for him, it is good enough for me too. The governor then turned to David and asked, and you, Barrister David, what inspired you to live a different life? You didn't follow your father's pattern. You follow another's pattern that has transformed your life 360 degrees today, that the whole world wants to hear from you. David took a deep breath and replied, I too watched my father, but I choose to learn from his mistake, not to repeat them. I promised myself I would never treat my family the way he treated my mother. I wanted a life of respect, dignity, and kindness. I want the world to hear from me. I want to be a different person. I want to make a difference in order to become a reference. I want to be a pace setter. I want to be a role model. I want to be a trailblazer. I want to be respected by the world. The crowd mourned in awe. Many people in the audience were visibly moved, and the governor handed the award to Barrister David, congratulating him for his resilience and dedication to doing what was right. The governor gave Barrister David the stage to address the audience. The first word he said, you can learn from a wise man who is wrong than from a fool who is right. He also said, I decided to do something different. I changed my thinking and everything about me changed. The life you want to live, you'll be the one that will decide for it. I decided that I will never follow my dad's pattern. Today, this is me. Success is not just about what you achieve for yourself. It is about what you inspire others to do and to become. The story of David and Daniel spread throughout the community. People admire how two brothers raised under the same roof could take such different paths based on the same experiences. David became a role model, while Daniel's life became a cautionary tale. What is the moral of this story? Let me know in the comment section. The choice is ultimately yours. Share your thought of this story in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and share with others for you to get more inspiring stories whenever I upload. Bye for now.